Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon or good evening. So what I want to talk about today is workability, I think is the best way to describe this, okay? The actions that you are taking. So this is a hypnotherapy channel, so I have to assume that you're here because you are challenged by something, yeah? Something that you don't like or you wish was different, or there's a conflict inside of you and you're trying to find a solution to that, or you're stuck, or you're ruminating, or you're procrastinating, or you've got a phobia that you know makes no sense but that you continue to plow into, or whatever it may be. The subconscious automatic beliefs at the back of your mind are driving you to take actions in a certain way, and they don't all feel like you, sort of thing. Yeah. So this concept of workability is very, very important. So if you're trying to find solutions to X, whatever X is, ask yourself, when you're taking actions, right? When you're literally taking actions. Now, when you, well, you could say thinking is an action, but all of the actions that you're taking, is that workable? Is that going toward your goal? Is that literally helping? Yeah. Or is it hindering? Is it taking you away from your goal? Is this thing that you are currently engaged in, is it workable? Is it gonna supply you with a new piece of information, a new experience, a new understanding? Is it going to make progress towards your goal? Or is it not? Is it not? Behind this is this idea of personal responsibility, is this idea of taking the choice, yeah, of acknowledging that you have the agency to take the choice. People are very good at deluding themselves to tell themselves that they're stuck, that they're not able to make the choice because of X, Y, Z. And you know, there are, fair enough, there are like physical constraints sometimes. But you've always got the choice of your perception. You've always got the choice of the meaning that you attach, and therefore the things that you look out for, the opportunities that you seek, the interactions that you go with or reject, the ways in which you try and solve your issue. Yeah. If you find yourself in a sort of a negative spiral, so you're doing stuff and it feels kind of compelling, and yet it doesn't feel very workable. It doesn't feel like it's making any progress. And why on earth would it? Because it doesn't make any sense. I'm a firm believer that people are always winning. So if you're winning, what is it that this action is delivering? What is it that this action is succeeding at? Could that be a protective mechanism, for example? Could it be an avoidance strategy? Could it be a way to stop you from, I don't know, being laughed at, being exposed, looking like you can't do something, telling yourself that you failed again? Who knows, yeah? But is there something underpinning your current action that you know isn't going towards your goal, but that somehow is winning? In which case, it's very, very important to question that. So eventually you're getting to the point of saying, all right, so rather than going on autopilot, I am going to choose my response. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to just kind of throw myself down the runaway train and continue doing what I've always done, because I always do what I've always done and I'm always going to get what I've always got. Instead, I'm going to pause. I'm going to choose. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to choose my response. And I'm going to choose a response that intellectually feels workable, that feels as if it might make progress. It ought to make progress. It seems like a reasonable thing to do. And that gut or intuition or heart, whatever it is that you wish to call it, your physical, bodily, emotional response says, yeah, I'm on board. Compass says, this is right. Emotion says, Go on then, I'll give it a go. Intellect says this should work. This is kind of the holy grail. Yeah, you do that. You make progress. You take stock. You look at what worked. You don't try and kind of beat yourself up when things go wrong. Instead, you kind of go, okay, so failure's good too. You know, what did I learn from the fact that this didn't work? What do I don't ever need to do again in the future, sort of thing? And you kind of whittle away at the things that don't work, and you notice the things that do work, and you end up making the progress that you choose to make. Maybe you need other people's help. Maybe that's part of the journey. Yeah, but it all starts from this idea of, is this workable, or am I self-sabotaging effectively? Yeah, that's it. I think that's all I need to talk about on that. But if you keep this in mind, at the back of your mind all the time, you can make considerable progress without watching idiots on YouTube telling you what you ought to do, think, and say, and act. Ta-da! That's my whole purpose, right? Is to give you your own toolbox so that you can do what feels right to you, and you can end up living a happier life. That's the perspective. If that's of use, then go subscribe, because there's many of these videos. And if you like it, let me know, or contact me, or contribute to the comments down below, because that's the most important thing. Yeah, it's kind of lifting everybody's boat. Yeah, making the world a nicer place, step by step, day by day, in the full knowledge that I haven't got any control over that process, and that it's even naive of me to consider that in such an egotistical way, because who am I in the myriad of 8 billion people, and dot, 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 dot. But you end up letting go of the stuff that you can't control. You end up appreciating the stuff that you can control, and the majority of the stuff that you can't control. You appreciate the beauty in the world. You appreciate the everything which is here, and the everything which is there, and the interrelation of all of that, and the interrelation of all of this. And because you're on your own side, you can look at yourself and go, so, am I doing stuff which is on my own side? Is this workable? All right, I'll shut up. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.